think Mr. Krabs is just a frugal, successful restaurant owner? Wrong! He's a big-time fraud, cheating his own customers with schemes, tricks, and straight-up manipulation, all for a few extra dollars. I'm gonna take you through some of his wildest scams. By the end of this episode, you'll never see Mr. Krabs or his love for money the same way again. Starting things off with the Krabby Chronicle, where Mr. Krabs proves he can turn absolutely anything, even journalism, into a big scam. It turns out Mr. Krabs placed an ad for the Krusty Krab in the Bikini Bottom Examiner, hoping to attract more customers.
Twas a bargain too. Only cost me a nickel.
The problem, nobody actually reads that cheap paper where the ad was placed, and the one people do read, way too expensive for Mr. Krabs.
25 cents per word!
So instead of spending money, he hatches a plan. Start his own newspaper company so he can keep all the profits. And of course, he makes SpongeBob the main journalist and writer.
You're my lead reporter for the new Krabby Chronicle!
Excited, SpongeBob heads into town to look for interesting stories for his first article. But what he thought was a great story ends up a complete failure. It's so boring. Not a single copy sells.
Too boring? SpongeBob!
Mr. Krabs, furious, tells SpongeBob to add a touch of imagination. In other words, twist the truth. Add a few lies. Make the news more exciting.
Mr. Krabs, isn't that lying?
Don't think of it as lying, boy. Think of it as a practical joke.
Even though SpongeBob isn't convinced, he follows Mr. Krabs' orders. And just like that, the newspaper of lies is born. The first victim is Mrs. Puff. SpongeBob fabricates a story claiming she was caught in a high-speed chase.
Boating teacher in high-speed chase! I think you've finally done it, boy!
Mr. Krabs loves it, but the lie destroys Mrs. Puff's reputation, eventually costing her her job.
I can't believe such a little news story could have ruined my business.
And it doesn't stop there. Larry gets expelled from the gym.
I can't have a wimp like you destroying my gym's reputation. You're banned forever.
The chum bucket is shut down by a health inspector.
That's not what this says. Plankton's chum made of your chums?
Sandy's science trophies are confiscated by the Neptunian Science Committee.
We've come to confiscate all your science awards.
All because of the fake news SpongeBob is forced to write, just to fill Mr. Krabs' pockets. Soon, SpongeBob realizes these lies aren't harmless. They're destroying people's lives.
I've seen people's lives ruined with my own eyes.
He feels guilty and begs Mr. Krabs to stop the newspaper. But of course, Mr. Krabs refuses. For him, it's an absolute success. Just look at the towers of money he's made. But then, SpongeBob takes matters into his own hands. He writes a story that exposes Mr. Krabs as the true villain.
What's going on?
You should know!
Krabs overworks employees. Brief reward.
When the readers discover the scam, they get furious and snatch away all of Mr. Krabs' money, leaving him with just a single dollar. Mr. Krabs is devastated, though only for a moment, because right away he starts using that dollar to print counterfeit bills, and even asks SpongeBob to help him cut him out.
Give me some scissors, boyo. It's time to use my imagination.
In the end, Mr. Krabs proves he'll do anything for money. He made up fake news to get rich, and when that failed, he even resorted to printing his own money, which, let's just say, isn't exactly legal. We've already seen an example of how Mr. Krabs scams his customers, but in the episode Skill Crane, he changes his tactics. This time, he acts more cunningly, passing himself off as a simple businessman instead of pulling off a direct scam. A long-awaited order finally arrives at the Krusty Krab. A claw machine!
Gentlemen, meet Skill Crane!
Mr. Krabs gets excited, not only because it looks good in the restaurant, but because he knows it'll bring him a ton of money in no time, since these machines are highly addictive. To test it out, Mr. Krabs gives SpongeBob and Squidward a free quarter each.
Step up, boys! First one's free.
Squidward goes first, but fails, while SpongeBob wins a plush toy on his very first try.
You lose! Did you see that, SpongeBob? I almost got that on my first try!
My work here is done.
This frustrates Squidward, who quickly develops an obsession with the machine. Determined to prove he can win something too, he ends up spending all his money, while SpongeBob keeps winning prizes without breaking a sweat.
Need some more change?
When Squidward runs out of money, Mr. Krabs decides to help by giving him an advance on his paycheck. But here's the catch. While SpongeBob gets a check,
It's payday, me boy. Here's your check, SpongeBob.
Squidward is paid entirely in quarters. Why? Because he knows Squidward will just feed them right back into the machine.
I took the liberty of turning your paycheck into quarters, just in case you want to, I don't know, do laundry or buy a soda or something.
Like I said, Mr. Krabs is a crafty fella. He turned Squidward's obsession into his own personal gold mine. A scam so clean, it doesn't even look like a scam. But Squidward's obsession only grows worse. With no money left, he ends up handing Mr. Krabs the deed to his house as payment.
You keep playing until you win. What's this?
The deed to my house?
Okie dokie then, carry on.
Seeing him so desperate, SpongeBob steps in and shares his secret to winning the claw machine. Close your eyes, focus, and become one with the machine. Though skeptical, Squidward gives it a shot and finally wins a plush toy.
Be the crane. Be the crane. Be the crane.
Of course, he brags to everyone, even to Mr. Krabs. But Krabs doesn't even flinch. By then, he had already made a fortune off Squidward's obsession.
3,498 of Squidward's quarters, 3,499 of Squidward's quarters.
With all those quarters, Mr. Krabs practically secured his profit for the entire month. So yeah, Mr. Krabs played dirty. It wasn't a direct scam, but he turned Squidward's weakness into a business. Ugh. Nasty business. Another example of Mr. Krabs scamming his customers, though more subtly, appears in the episode Grease Buffoons. It all begins when SpongeBob slips on grease while carrying a Krabby Patty to a customer.
Now that's what I call fast food.
That's when he and Mr. Krabs realize it's time to clean out the restaurant's grease trap.
What is it?
That, me boy, is a grease trap.
After finding it completely full, they drain it into a truck to dispose of it. But since they can't find a place to dump it, Mr. Krabs decides to solve the problem by leaving it right outside the chum bucket.
Right behind there.
Perfect spot, right? The next morning, Plankton slips on the grease while walking out. But instead of getting angry, he comes up with a brilliant idea. The taste of the grease is delicious, so he decides to use it in his food to attract customers.
It reeks, but it tastes delicious.
And of course, it works. A massive line forms outside his restaurant, eager to try the new chummy patties. Seeing this, Mr. Krabs investigates and discovers that Plankton's success is thanks to the grease he and SpongeBob dumped earlier.
You stole me Krabby Patty formula, and I want it back.
Oh, sorry to disappoint, Krabs. I'm simply using a gift somebody left me to make my chum taste good.
Not wanting to fall behind, Mr. Krabs creates the deluxe Krabby Patty, cooked with large amounts of grease to make it taste better.
Then, slather the grease from the second patty onto the first one, and voila! It's a deluxe-y Krabby Patty!
And so begins a true burger war between Mr. Krabs and Plankton, each one adding more and more grease to outdo the other.
Ultra chubby patties packed with quadruple grilled goodness.
But things quickly spiral out of control. Plankton ends up selling crispity crunchities, nothing but burnt grease crumbs.
My scanner shows that's nothing more than a burnt grease crumb.
You're right, and it's packed with flavor.
Meanwhile, Mr. Krabs takes it to the extreme by selling wow soup, literally pure grease on a paper plate. Insane, unhealthy, but for Mr. Krabs, the only thing that matters is money. It doesn't take long before the customers start getting sick. They look tired, bloated, basically filling their bodies with oil. SpongeBob, concerned, decides to call the health inspector, realizing that neither Mr. Krabs nor Plankton will stop on their own, blinded by greed.
Oh no! Did somebody call the health inspector?
Oh no! Did somebody call the health inspector?
When the inspector arrives and sees the greasy chaos, he warns them both. Their restaurants will be shut down unless they clean everything immediately.
I'll be ordering both your restaurants to be closed down until the two of you slime balls can clean up your act.
Mr. Krabs panics, but SpongeBob steps in to save the day, absorbing all the grease with his body and disposing of it properly, preventing the Krusty Krab from being shut down.
The Krusty Krab is grease-free!
Now that's what I call Employee of the Year. Anyway, in this episode, Mr. Krabs may not run a direct scam, but he still deceives his customers. He serves them unhealthy food, puts their health at risk, all just to fill his pockets. I mean, what wouldn't Mr. Krabs do for money? In the episode Born Again Krabs, Mr. Krabs shows exactly how far he'll go for money. At the end of the day, while SpongeBob is cleaning the restaurant, he finds an old Krabby Patty, covered in mold with a nasty smell.
It's a Krabby Patty. Yeah. It's cold and hard.
Naturally, he throws it in the trash, but doing so sets off an alarm that immediately alerts Mr. Krabs.
What happened?
It turns out he has a rule. No Krabby Patty can ever be thrown away, because he'd lose 5.2 cents.
Pinch-O-Matic has saved you 5.2 cents.
Even though the patty is completely rotten and SpongeBob begs him to toss it, Mr. Krabs forbids it. He declares that no other Krabby Burgers can be sold until that one is sold. Under no circumstances is he willing to lose those precious cents.
You're not to make another patty until that one is sold.
But the stench is so awful, nobody falls for it. Customers flee and the Krusty Krab is left empty. Desperate, Mr. Krabs decides to eat the patty himself, making him so sick he ends up in the emergency room.
Now then.
There, he's visited by the Flying Dutchman, who plans to take him away.
Eugene Krabs, your time has come.
But when Mr. Krabs realizes he'd spent eternity in Davy Jones's locker, he begs for mercy.
Get in. Oh, please, Mr. Dutchman.
They strike a deal. He must put his greed aside and live generously or face his doom.
I'll give you another chance, but you must always be generous. Never cheap.
For a while, Mr. Krabs keeps his promise. He becomes shockingly generous, handing out free burgers, toys, refills.
Free toys for everyone and free refills. Yeah!
Even letting Squidward sleep on shift.
Where's Squidward?
Oh, he's taking one of those break things in your office. I mean, the employee lounge.
SpongeBob and Squidward are stunned. This isn't Mr. Krabs at all.
Gee, Mr. Krabs, you sure are taking total bankruptcy well.
Oh, it's just a bad dream. I'll wake up soon.
But it doesn't last. Soon, Mr. Krabs wakes up from his dream, realizes he's not in the hospital anymore, and more importantly, realizes he isn't making any money.
You mean I'm awake?
Immediately, he demands the toys back and cancels all the freebies.
No more refills! Give me back them toys and freeloaders!
By breaking his pacts, the Flying Dutchman returns to drag him away. SpongeBob jumps in, insisting that Mr. Krabs is generous.
A deal's a deal. Let's go.
Wait just a burger flipping second.
To test him, the Dutchman forces Krabs to choose SpongeBob or all the money in his pocket. And of course, Mr. Krabs chooses the money, all 62 cents of it. Typical Krabs.
If you had to choose between SpongeBob and all the money I have in my pocket, which would you take? That depends. How much money are we talking about?
Mr. Krabs!
62 cents. I'll take the money.
Mr. Krabs!
But SpongeBob is spared anyway, not because Mr. Krabs felt remorse, but because the Dutchman simply got tired of SpongeBob talking too much.
I only had him for 30 seconds, and it's jellyfish in this, and mermaid man that. Why, not giving him back is a fate worse than death.
In the end, it's clear. Mr. Krabs' greed knows no bounds. He'll eat a rotten patty to save 5 cents. He'll trick customers, risk their health, and even break a deal with the Flying Dutchman himself, all for a little extra money. Next up, in the episode Krabby Land, Mr. Krabs takes advantage of the summer to scam kids like never before. For him, summer means easy money. Since he knows kids are on school vacation, wasting their days completely unsupervised by their parents, and they've got their pockets full of cash, ready to spend on anything. Obviously, Mr. Krabs wasn't going to pass up such an opportunity. He raises the price of the kiddie meal from $1.99 to a whopping $4.99. But when he realizes no kids are coming to the restaurant for his nutritious Krabby Patties, since they all prefer a new playground down the street, Mr. Krabs decides to build his own amusement park to keep up with the competition. So overnight, he builds Krabby Land himself, claiming it's the best park in town. But the reality is very different. But before we go any further, let's recap Mr. Krabs' scam so far. First, he raised the price of the kids' meal just because it's summer, almost tripling it. Second, he built a cheap and dangerous amusement park trying to pass it off as something spectacular. And it doesn't stop there. Mr. Krabs promises the kids that if they buy Krabby Patties and sign some so-called coloring books, which are actually liability waivers, they'll get to meet the famous Krabby the Clown.
I forgot to give you these coloring books / liability waivers. Everyone who hands theirs back gets to meet the one and only Krabby the Clown.
That adds two more scams. One, tricking the kids into signing legal documents disguised as coloring books, outright fraud. And two, promising they'll meet a clown who doesn't even exist. To cover his lie, Mr. Krabs asks SpongeBob to entertain the kids while he goes to find the clown.
Just stall him.
Stall him? How do I do that?
Be entertaining.
SpongeBob gets desperate because nothing seems to amuse them until he quickly discovers that the only thing that makes them laugh is seeing him suffer. So he starts hurting himself on purpose. He pours soap in his eyes, steps on his tongue, and even hires thugs to hit him with hammers. Definitely desperate measures for desperate times. But after so much pain, SpongeBob can't take it anymore. He goes to find Mr. Krabs and asks if the clown has arrived. Mr. Krabs, happily counting money, says yes, it's time to present him. The kids get excited, but their joy vanishes in a second when Mr. Krabs, in front of everyone, puts a blue-painted tomato on his nose and pretends to be the clown.
Hey, kids! Thank you all for coming!
Ugh, absolutely shameless. The kids are furious and SpongeBob is completely disappointed, unable to understand how Mr. Krabs could be so cruel to them.
How could you, Mr. Krabs?
Finally, Mr. Krabs admits he didn't care about the kids, that he did it all just for their money. When the kids hear this, they decide not to sit back and teach him a lesson. They recover all the money, tie him up, and force him to eat lima beans as punishment.
I gotta get some of that green stuff. No, not that green stuff.
Without a doubt, the worst punishment for Mr. Krabs, losing all his money and having to eat the green stuff he hates so much. His well-deserved karma for being so greedy and deceitful. And those were all the times, or at least most of the times, Mr. Krabs tricked his Krusty Krab customers. Sneaky, greedy, and completely obsessed with money. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did, and if you did, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a comment on which video you'd like to see next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.